This is Matt Hurt at Obsessive Viewer on Twitter.
And this is Kyrsten Leister at Burger_Lurker on Twitter.
And this is ObsessiveViewer.com's The Obsessive Viewer Podcast.
Roll music.
Yes.
Is that the new theme song?
Yeah.
I like it. It's catchy.
Yeah. Okay. Hello and welcome to The Obsessive Viewer. We're a movie and TV podcast that covers a specific topic, be it genre, trope, movie, or show, each episode. You can find more of our work at ObsessiveViewer.com, more of our podcasts at ObsessiveViewer.com/podcasts, and you can also like us on Facebook and join the Facebook group at Facebook.com/TheObsessiveViewer. You can also follow us on Letterboxd at Obsessive Viewer, Obsessive Tiny, and I am Mike White. And finally, you can support us on Patreon at Patreon.com/ObsessiveViewer at the minimum rate of $1 per month for an exclusive RSS feed with content recorded specifically for Patreon supporters.
What is that weird voice you're doing?
Know. I'm your host, the aforementioned Matt Hurt, and with me today is recurring co-host Kyrsten Leister.
Hello.
Who can be found on Twitter at Burger_Lurker, which you just said. Yeah, that was my weird game show host.
It did sound like a 90s game show host.
It did. I was channeling Joey Tribbiani in an episode of Friends where he's going out for a game show host. Bamboozled.
Yeah. I remember that episode.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Friends, because it is going away from Netflix at the end of this year.
So is The Office.
So is The Office. Soon. Yeah. Which people get up in arms about, but I'm just like, you know what? I've got the DVDs. I'm good. Yeah. So, Kyrsten, how's it going?
Fine. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Oh, cool.
Good.
Okay. That was very efficient. Let's move on.
Yep. Well, this has been The Obsessive Viewer. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Pack it up.
Yeah. It's been a little while since you've been on the show.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. What's your deal? What's going on? What happened?
This is an intervention. Everyone I know and love comes out. And,
yes.
Exactly. Everyone I know and love. So nobody.
Yeah.
and Matt's there too.
Yeah. Well, I just organized it.
No, I've been busy. Work, school,
yes,
rehearsals, taking my cat to the vet.
Yes, so did I.
Oh my god!
I took my cat to the vet. Oh
we should do that regularly because animals should go to the vet. Yeah.
My pizza's issue is that she tore her little claw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your little ninja
lost a tooth.
She did.
And not like a baby tooth. Like she's 15. That's
right.
Like she could get a learner's permit if she were a human. Mm-hmm. She's not. They don't give those to cats. I checked.
No. And you could teach her how to parallel park.
But yeah, I taught you today.
Yes.
But her tooth fell out.
Yeah, I meant to mention when you were telling me about that I was like, it sounds like there was no pain or anything. Like that's when you said it, like you said you noticed it, and I was like, because when you told me about it, I was like, shit, I hope that she wasn't in pain or anything.
Well, that's why I took her. I couldn't get a close enough look to see if, I mean, I couldn't tell if it had fallen out or if it broke off and there was like some tooth remaining, so. And
you couldn't get close to it because she kept trying to bite you, right?
She did bite me.
No, did she really?
Well, yeah.
Oh my god. I was making a joke because pizza hates me.
Now, I didn't know if that was because she was in pain and I was messing with the part of her that was in pain, or if she just doesn't like being manhandled. Yeah. Like, she doesn't like being picked up. She will come and lay on me, but.
Just like a woman, am I right?
When you pick them up and you put them in the back of your van, right. They're always kicking and screaming and yelling and begging for their lives.
Kicking out your rear view, your
and waving their hand. They don't want to go to no secondary location. Yeah. Oh, God. Women, am I right?
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Can't live with them.
That's it.
So you gotta kill them. No,
If I can't have them, no one can.
Yeah, she did bite me. I mean, it wasn't like hard enough to break the skin or anything, but I wasn't sure if that was because she was in pain and I was messing with her, or she just didn't like. She doesn't like being manhandled. Right. I was like all up in her business,
and it's not like you're normally doing that. Right. So she probably sensed that it was,
So I took her to the vet, and they said it did look like the tooth had broken off. Mm-hmm. But it was a clean break. There was no tooth remaining. There was no root exposed. It looked like it was healing fine. They were not concerned at all.
Nice.
So, they said it sometimes happens with older cats. It's just like with people. Your teeth start to, not be as strong as they used to be.
Right.
But they said her other teeth and her gums are in really great shape. Yeah, I know you guys are here to listen to how my cat is doing.
Right. I'm just waiting for you to finish so I can talk about my cat. But go ahead.
So they gave her an antibiotic, and I got to take her back in 2 weeks just to make sure that it's still healing okay. But they always say she's in great shape. Actually, the vet I took her to isn't her regular vet.
Ooh.
And she was like, "This is Ninja. I've heard so much about her," and I was like, "My cat's a celebrity."
Oh my god, that's okay.
Yeah. They all love her there. She's the most beautiful cat they've ever seen. They said they just love my cat. They love her there. She's a gorgeous cat.
She really is a gorgeous long-haired cat.
Yeah, orange and white, beautiful cat, beautiful eyes.
Oh yeah, she loves the little chin scratchies.
She does little chin scratchies.
Was it an upper tooth or bottom tooth?
It's her top right canine.
Okay, so it doesn't affect the chin scratchies.
No.
Good. So my cat had to go to the vet. She messed up one of her nails like an idiot.
Ugh, what a dumbass. Nerd. Hey, cat, you're a nerd.
Anyway, no, I had to take her to the vet.
I expected her to just, her face just like, what'd you say?
Oh, I never finished I was saving it for the episode.
Oh.
Anyway, so she had messed up her nail. It wouldn't retract back into her claw and or in her paw. And she was very sensitive to it and everything. And I was like, oh my God, my heart, I would take my nail and give it to you if I could.
That wouldn't work.
It would in theory.
Fit right.
It would in theory.
She'd have one human nail.
She would. And I would just be bleeding from my finger. But no.
I'm a monster.
Yeah. I took her to the vet. Like when I set the appointment, they were like, and what's your cat's name? And I was like, it's Pizza Roll. And I tweeted about this. I was like, it's, I wanted to say it's, hang on, let me actually find it because I had a whole tweet. I was really proud of it because it is her given name, her actual full name.
My cat's full name is Ninja Star.
I know, and
her middle name is Star. She has a middle name. Because I was, in my defense, I was 14
right
when I got her, and I thought ninjas were so
Don't make
cool.
excuses.
And I was
That's
right.
A good name.
Ninjas are very cool.
Yes, a friend of mine. She doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's fine. But she sent a message to one of our group chats that just said like, I didn't know ninjas were real.
What?
Like, she just found out that ninjas were like a real thing.
She thought they were just like made up for cartoons and stuff. That's fair, I guess. I mean, they're so sensationalized that I can see that. I mean, like, the image we have of ninjas is probably not accurate, to be fair. Like, they're not Naruto,
Yeah.
The Naruto run thing, like, that's probably not real. They probably didn't use that technique.
Right.
In feudal Japan?
Right. Hang on, I swear.
Does she know samurai are real? Or is that another?
I did not ask.
Check on that.
I will.
This is important.
Yes, it is. Man, why can't I find that tweet? Wow. It's one of my favorite tweets ever.
You should have favorited your own tweet.
I should have.
It's a good way to keep track of them.
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to be, like...
A weirdo.
A weirdo.
You're literally scrolling through your own Twitter feed.
No, I'm scrolling through my screenshots because I knew that I took a screenshot of it because I was really proud of it. I can't find it, but anyway, it was like Pizza Roll, the cutest cat ever of House Hurt, formerly of Face, upon Indy Reads Books adoption event. It was a whole thing.
This was so worth it.
Yeah, I'm totally going to cut this out of the episode.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So anyway, Time
is ticking. We've been talking for about 10 minutes and we have not talked about movies or TV.
Right. But
we've only talked about our cats.
Yes. So, but yeah, she's fine. Pizza's fine. But that's what I was going to get at. So when I made the appointment, they were like, what's her name? And I was like, Pizza Roll. And then like the receptionist was laughing like really loud, like, oh, that's great. And I was like, I know.
It is a good name. It's a great name. I love animals with weird names. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I also love animals with like normal human names.
Oh, yeah.
Like Henry. Like, cat, your name is Henry? Or like a dog named Frank?
One of my Facebook friends who I went to high school with like long ago, like not in the same class or anything. Long ago. She just had a baby. And I thought it was really interesting. Like, it's a cute baby. But she named him George. I thought, like, I never see, like, baby Georges. Like, yeah. It's just, I thought that was funny. Anyway, so anyway, so pizza's fine, but when I took her in, they were like, is this pizza roll? And I'm like, oh my god! I'm sure you say that to all the cute kitties that come in.
Yeah, all the cute kitties, they say, is this pizza roll?
No, I'm implying that they would say it about the whatever their name is. Anyway.
I know what the implication is.
So, final thing, the thing that I was going to tell you about, and then I saved it for this, you're welcome, is that when I sneeze, so when I sneeze, time was pizza would run into the bedroom and hide under the bed.
The story is that the sneezes are loud.
Yes, because I live
monstrous.
Alone. And I do full gale sneezes.
Full gale. Not a half gale.
Yeah. And because it feels really nice, and it's I don't need to who am I performing for, yeah.
You know?
So so she would dart under the bed and hide, but what she's been doing, like, for the last maybe year now, is she'll still run into the bedroom, but she'll almost, unless I'm in the bedroom, she'll run in everything, but she'll come out and she'll, like, come up to me, and I don't know if
maybe
it's
she's
her
checking on you.
That's the thing. It's either one of two things.
Yeah.
She's either like, are you okay? Like, just making sure her human is okay and everything. So she's past, like, being scared about it. She's, like, concerned for me.
Okay.
Or she's just like, can you not?
Yeah.
Like,
excuse me.
Like,
I'm trying to lick my butthole.
Yes.
Over here.
Yes.
And you're disturbing me.
Right. So anyway,
so those are...
That wasn't a pizza quote. That was just Kyrsten talking. That was a weird non sequitur.
Don't soundbite that.
Yes.
I'm just trying to lick my butthole in peace.
Jesus. That is definitely getting sound bitten.
Sound bitten.
Sound bitten.
So let's talk about what this podcast is about.
Let's do that, but
not yet.
Not yet. Because I want to give you a platform to promote your show.
Okay.
So this episode is probably going to go up the week of August 12th. So your show is opening this week.
So that'll be the same week we open.
Yes. So tell us about it.
Yeah, the show is called Game of Crows, Winter is Coming, Father Ned. And it's a short 1 hour fringe piece. And if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you'll like it. Mm-hmm. It's a parody, it's a mashup with Game of Thrones and Father Ted, which I've talked about on here before. Mm-hmm. Funny, think Monty Python's Flying Circus kind of humor.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a weird, goofy, silly, like, really funny little parody.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it. What date should I go to?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Probably not the Thursday. That's our opening. We have a 7:30 show that weekend on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So that's a good time. And then that following Sunday we have matinee, and then we have a 9 o'clock show Monday.
A matinee?
Matinee.
Yeah, a matinee.
I get what you're saying. It's not what it is. And then we have
a Monday.
That Friday, the second week Friday, we have a 10:30, and then we have a 7:30. Both of our Saturday shows are 7:30, so either one of them would be good.
Okay, I'm going to go to the Saturday, August 17th show.
Alrighty.
At the Oasis Theater.
So if you want to meet Matt and me.
Yes.
Come on out to Game of Crows.
Yes.
Our group, Clerical Error Productions, we were the 10th best-selling show in the festival last year, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of shows in the festival, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Do you have a special promo code I can use?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't have, they don't give me that stuff.
Real nice. Mm-hmm. Real nice. I'm just wanting to support you.
Do you want special treatment?
Yes.
Is that...
I do. Especially since afterwards, you and I are going to do a live podcast on the stage. It's going to bump the next show. Yeah.
I don't know, Matt.
It'll be fine.
Sounds like something that's going to get me evicted from the festival.
It's fine.
It's not.
But I'm very much looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It'll be the third show from Clerical Error that you've done.
Yes. The third that we've done at all, period. I've been in
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they did that previously. Okay.
Nope. That's
awesome. Yeah, I've
been with it since the conception.
Nice.
And the birth and the afterbirth. sort of an oaky afterbirth.
Oaky afterbirth. But no, it is legitimately hysterical all the time, and it's so much fun to see you guys perform.
Thank you.
So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I don't got anything going on.
I know.
Right? I don't know why I would bring this up on the podcast, but I did drop out of school.
Nice.
So yeah.
Cool.
So I have more free time now to push to put off doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And to see movies. So yeah. No, just for listeners, I just got, too much stress and everything, and I was just like, it's not the right time for me. So yeah.
This is a very special episode.
It is, yeah.
Of The Obsessive Viewer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could lie and just say I did it for you guys. So if you want to support me on Patreon, go to patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. And we just recorded a Patreon special.
We did.
An exclusive Patreon recording.
You don't want to miss this one, folks.
You don't. We talk about...
I've already forgotten what we talked about.
I was going to say something that's going to sound really crass, but I don't want to say it.
We talked about herpes.
We talked about herpes. I'm not going to say that. Kyrsten's assets as an actress.
My assets.
Or actor, I'm sorry.
Actor.
Actor. In the theater.
Theater.
Yes.
Theater.
And we also talked about shipping LOSTPoint.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so today on the podcast, though, what are we talking about?
I don't know. We're covering a lot.
We are covering a lot.
It's been a while. We've been hanging out.
We have.
And we've been seeing stuff.
Yes.
We just haven't had any time to record.
We really haven't. And, we've seen... So here's a rundown of what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right.
We're going to talk about Stuber Far From Home.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Blockers Far From Home.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to do LOSTPoint Far From Home.
Uh-huh.
So,
and
yes.
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
And BuzzFeed Unsolved Paranormal.
Far From Home.
Far From Home. So...
Supernatural, not paranormal.
Supernatural, sorry.
Get it right for the Ghoul Boys.
Yes.
Come on.
So, so it's a lot of ground to cover. Let's start with Spider-Man.
Okay.
So we're going to do non-spoiler and spoiler review. Check the show notes of it, of this episode, which you can find at obsessiveviewer.com/OV291. And in your podcast app. So, Kyrsten, you and I saw Spider-Man.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. So we were both really anticipating this movie.
Yeah.
Going into it, did you experience any... I just noticed your sock says meow.
Yeah. They're cat socks.
Yeah. Are those... Did you get those for Christmas from your boss?
No, she did get me a pair of socks with cats on them, but not these. These I did get from work. They had back when I was basically an administrator. There's administrative assistance day is a thing
at Insert Company.
Yeah, at Insert Company, and not this past year, the year before that when I was still in that role, they got me this really nice gift basket. That they put together. It was really, really nice. It was, they put a lot of work into it. And one of the things they got me was this set of cat socks.
Nice.
So this is a pair from that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, Spider-Man, when we went into Far From Home, did you, since this was the third Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that came out this year, and it was, and it's the third one that you and I saw in the theater together, did you go into it experiencing any fatigue from it or anything, or were you pumped and ready for it?
No, I was pumped. I loved Homecoming. I loved Tom Holland.
Me too.
And I was really excited because we had just, come down from the high of Endgame. And this was the first movie after, this is the first part of phase 2.
Right. Or phase, well, technically it's phase, the end of phase 3. It's the encore to phase 3.
Okay. Part 2 or whatever. I mean, that was the first part.
Yes. And I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new era now.
Exactly.
So it
sorry to mansplain it.
It had big shoes to fill.
It did.
And I had very high expectations.
Okay, nice. I was still pumped for it because I like you. I loved Homecoming. Yeah. Really liked Captain Marvel. I need to watch that again.
Captain Marvel was really good.
Yes. Yeah. I almost bought it on Vudu, but
the more distance I get, the more I wish that Captain Marvel had been introduced earlier.
Me too.
Like as one of the first movies, and then we don't have to hear anything from her,
right? Until
she shows up in Endgame. We're like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel. That would have been great.
That would have been cool. Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Because you kind of would have forgotten about her. Because now, I mean, watching Endgame,
because she's a woman, you can say it.
You're expecting that she's going to show up because she just had her movie.
Yeah,
and you know that she's super, super powerful.
And if you're sitting next to someone who is talking throughout the movie,
me.
No. I was talking about the first time I saw the movie. And then like as soon as they look up and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" Like you have a guy next to you blurt out, "Oh, it's Captain Marvel." Like that's just something.
But yeah, I think the payoff would have been really cool if she had been introduced way earlier, and then you don't hear from her.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movies until Endgame, and she shows up at the very end. That would have been pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about.
We're not. Yeah. So Far From Home.
Yeah.
Let's go into our non-spoiler review of Spider-Man Far From Home. It's been a while, so it's going to be kind of tricky. So, this movie has Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, and Happy's back, Jon Favreau.
I like Happy.
Me too. And
he's such a fun character.
He is, and I really enjoyed his kind of arc throughout this movie as the kind of Stark Industries kind of person who's banging Aunt May.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they're banging.
Well,
they could be. But he's definitely kind of stepped into a mentor role.
He has, Peter. Like that. We'll talk about that in spoilers. So this is a very interesting movie because it takes Spider-Man overseas.
Far From Home. It takes them.
Yes. So
there were a lot of like big set pieces.
Yes.
So.
And the plot summary from IMDb is: following the events of Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man must step up to take on new threats in a world that has changed forever. So we've got this field trip that all of the #main characters from Homecoming are on. From school,
and well, the whole what do they call it? The snap? What do they call it?
Oh,
they have like a dumb name for it.
Yeah,
the blip.
I think it was the blip. Yeah.
They address that, you know, that the characters who are still in class, like Ned and MJ and all them, they were blipped,
right?
So they were snapped, and that's why they're all still in the same grade because they come back and they have to start the year all over again. Yeah. And there's the one kid, Brad, who was, who 3 years younger than them, who is now in
5 years.
5 years. Yeah, it's been 5 years. So he's now in their class.
Right.
Yeah.
That's super fun. Yeah. And what I liked about Homecoming specifically was the teen, like, comedy aspect of it, and they did an all right job with Far From Home.
I will say Far From Home hit far from my expectations.
Oh, that is a blurb for.
I maybe it's because my expectations were really high, but I was a little bit let down.
I don't know if I would go so far as to say I was let down because I still enjoyed. Like I enjoyed it, fun.
But I loved Homecoming. Yeah. I mean, it was before I was keeping like track of my movies, but I think it probably would have been my favorite movie of that year.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember where it landed for me. Oh, yeah, I don't remember where it landed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it was. I mean, one of my favorite movies.
It was all right.
It was great. Homecoming was great. Far From Home, I kind of. I missed New York. I really did. Like, Spider-Man to me is like New York City, and like after like playing Spider-Man,
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that scene that's in the trailer. It's like, I'm supposed to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Yeah, that is good. That was
great.
MJ was very different.
That we talked about this after the movie, but like that was Zendaya stood out so much in Homecoming.
Yeah, well, I feel
great.
like they needed to normalize her in order to make her a romantic character. Mm-hmm. And like, why did they have to do that?
They didn't. They really didn't. And at a time where like when you,
she threw in a couple fun facts about serial killers, but that was it. She wasn't like the weird, quirky MJ from Homecoming.
Right. It didn't. It didn't mesh well with me.
It's like they had to make her more of a normal teen girl in order to make her a romantic lead.
Exactly.
And I don't appreciate that.
I didn't like it.
Why could we not get Hannibal Buress to chaperone these kids?
I was so disappointed.
How could we not get Hannibal Buress or like a guy who like they cast, and it's credited as Hannibal Buress, but it's not him.
It's just a guy that hasn't.
It's just a guy.
Yeah,
just a guy.
But no, the chaperone in this movie instead of Hannibal Buress was JB Smoove, which he's fine.
Yeah.
But
we deserved Hannibal Buress.
I really like Hannibal Buress, and I really wish he was in the movie, but alas, he's not. But
alas.
I do. I did like the kind of ways that they messed with the field trip, like diverting them to different places and stuff. That was a fun like running gag. Yeah. As far as the action, and we'll steer clear from spoilers and everything, but the action,
I thought the scenes where Peter was in like the trap. I don't want to give too much away about that, but when Mysterio had him, God, that was good stuff.
That was great. It reminded me a lot of like
so trippy.
Yes, it reminded me of like Scarecrow in Batman.
Oh yeah,
and like especially like Batman
with
Begins.
The fear gas.
Yeah. It visually it was amazing, and that was the high point of the movie for me, hands down. That was really great. The story takes some turns and everything, and I appreciate it. Obviously, there are some ways that are coming, but despite like that, I kind of feel like the movie tried to make the stakes really high, or like, and I'll have to dance around this until we get to spoilers, but like the stakes of the villain, like I said in the scene from the trailer, like he's like, how can I be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, or I'm just friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, because they're recruiting him to like save the world and everything. It's like the level of like destruction that's potentially going to be rained down there was a little too much.
They couldn't get anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I get that he asks about a couple different people. Right. He's like, where's Thor? Oh, he's off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Where's Marvel? Don't evoke her name.
Yeah.
Like, there's other people. Like, did you not see that scene in Endgame where everyone was there?
Right.
Like, call Black Panther.
Yeah.
Call Ant-Man.
Right.
Call all the other people who we know are still on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, you can only get a hold of Spider-Man. You can only get a hold of Spider-Man.
Yeah. This teenage kid on a school trip. So you're telling me
you can only get a hold of Spider-Man.
But I'll save that. Let's bring that up in spoilers, because I will talk to that point.
Okay.
But just the scale of it just felt a little. And granted, like when you get deeper into the story, like when more of the story is unveiled to us, it's like it makes some sense. But it's just like it kind of felt like I wanted like Vulture in Homecoming, like that kind of low level.
Michael Keaton was so good,
incredible
as Vulture.
Yeah,
he was like horrifying.
Absolutely,
I got chills watching it in the theaters.
Like the car scene was amazing.
The building scene where oh my god, come on Spider-Man, come on Spider-Man. Oh my god, break my heart,
so
little
good.
Tom Holland, you little baby. God, he's just a child.
He's just a little baby.
He's a child. Get him out of there,
And
he's still a child, because even though 5 years have passed, he's still a child.
He got blipped. But and Jake Gyllenhaal did a fine job. I liked his.
I thought he was a good villain.
Yeah,
the part. We'll talk about this in spoilers, but I thought he was. I thought it was well acted and everything.
Yeah.
But
what did you think of like the action set pieces and stuff, aside from the kind of mind bendy part?
Just fine. The action was fine. It was an action movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I can't think of anything that really stood out. It was a lot of like just. They were going to different locations for the big set pieces. Yeah. And
a lot of it was like big monster, like in like nondescript, like red or green beam, like hitting him, and it didn't feel like there was enough like threat
Yeah.
to it. And granted, part of that is the actual story, but another part of that's like just, okay, you have just beams coming out of like monsters' hands and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like it doesn't do anything.
It was very
for me.
generic.
Yeah. So that kind of made it a little hard to really get into the spirit of the set pieces and everything. Let's go into spoilers because there's a lot to kind of unpack about it. So we're going to go into spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home. We're talking about this movie first because it's probably the higher profile movie. I don't know if we're going to do spoiler sections for the other movies we're going to review, but so probably should have saved Spider-Man Far From Home for last.
Oh well.
But if you want to skip ahead, go check the show notes and so spoilers on for Spider-Man Far From Home. And
if you haven't seen Homecoming by now,
I know, right? Fair game. But here's a clip from the trailer in case you need to, get out of the shower or pause.
Silence us.
Yes.
Alexa, pause.
Yes.
A bunch of people's. Oh my god! What do I say? Alexa, stop!
Nice.
She did. I don't have anything like that. Yeah. That scared me. We need to call Buzzfeed Unsolved. Your apartment's haunted.
That has happened to me while recording like a solo podcast, and it freaks me out. Like I'll say something that isn't even the wake up word.
I hope a bunch of people at home listening right now. I hope that their stuff turns on.
Yeah. In case they have Google Home, Google. Play
Echo. Is that a thing too?
No, that's an Echo. Google Home is like the Google equivalent of it. So anyway, Google. Anyway, so I'm so sorry. Spoilers on for Spider-Man Far From Home.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
There's got to be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel?
Unavailable.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Okay, so we're in spoilers for Far From Home.
Yeah.
The kind of big reveal. We didn't talk about Ned and Betsy Brandt.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that.
You didn't? Okay. Well,
I thought it was kind of funny, but I wanted Ned with. Ned was such a good sidekick.
He's the guy
in Homecoming.
in the chair. Yeah,
he was such a good sidekick, and he wasn't helping at all.
He wasn't, but I really loved the way that it riffed on just young
teen romance.
It's so
that was funny. But I if given the choice, I would have preferred to have him in more of an operational role like he was in Homecoming.
Yeah, I agree, and we get some of that toward the end when he and MJ and Peter all team up.
Yeah.
So
that's how I like my Ned.
Yes.
I did say at the end of Endgame, I was like, my one question that needs to be answered was, did Ned get snapped?
Right.
And he did.
Yeah.
He did get snapped. So did all the main characters from Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah. Flash got snapped. MJ, conveniently. Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if she was like 5 years old and was like...
That would be cool. I wish there was a way to do that.
Fan fiction.
Yes.
You can start drawing up your fan art.
I will. Yeah. So, what did you think of Far From Home and spoilers?
Mysterio was legit gonna shoot him. Like, he was really just, like, that was kind of jarring for me because you're used to, like, I know Thanos could just, like, crush someone's skull, but, like, it's an abstract threat to us. But to see him holding that gun up to Peter's head, like, he was really gonna shoot him. That was, like, pretty scary.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I mean, he was going to shoot a kid. He was. Like,
the Peter Tingle.
That was cute.
That was such a fun running gag.
Oh, God. I loved Peter working when they were in the ship, and Happy was looking at him, and he was just seeing a young Tony Stark when he was building his suit. That was great.
That, like legit got teary-eyed.
Yeah. That was good stuff. That was really good.
I loved when, I think it was AC/DC was playing, and he's like, I love Led Zeppelin or whatever.
Yeah, that was good.
Just, Peter's adorable.
I liked the subplot with Flash.
Oh, interesting. Him being like a super fan of Spider-Man?
No, that he was like being neglected by his parents.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that he was trying to get a hold of his parents and like they weren't returning his calls or something, and like his mom was supposed to pick him up from the airport and they sent a driver and he was like, mother couldn't get away, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like he's a bully, but it's because he's being neglected at home.
Right.
And I hope that kind of comes back because I think that they're setting up Flash to be like more of to hold a more prominent role.
Yeah.
I feel like they wouldn't have thrown that in otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
It's weird stuff to throw in for a character that they're not going to develop.
Right.
And they have time.
Yeah.
So, didn't the actor get busted for drugs or something at Gen Con or like some convention?
I have no idea.
I saw that somewhere that the actor Tony Revolori?
Yeah.
I had heard that he gives the guy next to him is credited as Dutch Hooligan 1. Yeah, I had heard that he got busted for drug possession or something.
Really? That's funny because he was in a movie in 2015 called Dope.
Oh, well, that's his downfall now.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good movie.
One thing that I think is really cool is Spider-Man Far From Home had the first canonical trans actor in a Marvel movie, and it was just one of the students in the class, and I don't think he even had any speaking lines.
Okay.
But I just lost my tab that I was on.
I had no idea. That's cool.
Yeah, Zach Barak, I think his name is.
While you're looking that up, Spider-Man actor Tony Revolori in July, just a week ago, apparently.
Yeah, I thought it was recent.
Actor escorted out of Comic-Con bash for climbing a tree.
Oh.
So, not drugs.
Well, it was something, though.
Way to besmirch his name.
Climbing a tree. Yeah. That's illegal. Yeah, Zach Barak.
Okay.
He's a trans man.
Wow.
And I mean, like, it's obviously never addressed in the movie. But that is the idea that the character is also a trans male.
Nice. And see, I don't know, like, obviously we both support.
I mean, it would have been great if they had, given him some lines,
Yeah, but also, like, I like that. Like, it's just...
It's not a plot point.
Yeah, it's normalizing everything. I like that. I like that more than, making a statement or whatever. I don't know how that sounds, but you know what I mean? Like, just, like, having it just be, like, normalized and everything. I like that. But did he climb any trees?
I don't think he did.
That's the question. So yeah. The twist, I guess. It's not really a twist. Mysterio is known for
if you know him from the comic books, you know that he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Okay, what did you make of I was really hoping that it would be a real case of, like, okay, alternate dimensions and stuff, because multiverse, because that's such a clean way to bring in, like, the characters that they've gotten from the Disney deal and everything.
You're right.
Yeah, like Fantastic Four and X-Men.
I mean, now that they've opened that door, they could still go that route. I mean, it's at this point, it's obviously established that Mysterio's origin story was a big fat lie,
right? But, that's a moot point for me to bring that up as, like, oh, I wish it was true, because have you heard about Phase 4? Like, the movies that were announced and everything? Yeah. The Doctor Strange sequels, Doctor Strange, in the
Stranger Than Ever
multiverse of madness or whatever. So anyway, so that kind of whole twist is was expected, but I really like the way it was done, like him giving the glasses away. Like, it is wholly on Peter Parker's, ignorance of what to do.
His naivety.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a kid. He's still,
Absolutely.
he's helped to save the universe, yes, but he's still a child.
And I love that aspect of it, because...
Well, and I love, like, I mean, it's a very real scenario, like... I'm not the whole really, saving, like, the universe or anything, but, like, he's like, I'm just a kid, right. You just from Queens, and I shouldn't have to, this shouldn't be up to me to save the universe. I'm just trying to hook up with
Zendaya.
Like, right? I mean, who wouldn't?
Right.
And I mean, he really wants someone to take care of it, you know, and take care of him. And I just want to wrap him up in a blanket and give him some hot chocolate and sit him on a couch where he'll be safe forever. He's just a little bean, and he needs to be protected. Little bean boy.
That's weird. But anyway, but yeah. Oh, that's what I was getting at. When a lot of the issues that come up are a direct result of his actions.
Yeah.
Like the drone thing when he first gets the glasses on the bus and everything. That's a really fun set piece.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to, and it's purely
he inadvertently takes a hit out on one of his classmates.
And it's purely out of, like
teenage jealousy.
Yeah, teenage jealousy, trying to get something on someone. It's just, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said in non-spoilers, the action set pieces and stuff, like the stuff with the lava monster thing, just,
yeah.
Like the stakes were cool because, you know, you had, Ned on the Ferris wheel.
Ferris
that
wheel
was
with his
cool.
girlfriend, yeah.
But also like that, it just felt just hollow.
Maybe it did because it turns out to be hollow, and maybe that was an intentional choice. Maybe
and
maybe
I'm sure
it was a tonal thing.
Yeah,
you know.
But it's still like in the moment, it just still didn't do anything for me.
I agree. Watching it was a little boring.
Yeah. I will say that to your point in non-spoilers about not having anyone else to do it or anything out of all the Avengers, the reveal at the end that Fury and Maria Hill are just the oh god, are they the Skrulls or the Kree?
They're the
Skrulls. The Skrulls from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at predicting twists.
You are.
And I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
But looking back, there were a couple different signs that made sense. Don't invoke her name.
Invoke her name.
That's a good one.
Also, that just adds to like, okay, that's why they can't.
There's another one where Peter asks. There's something. When they're introducing him to Mysterio and they're like, is he from Earth? And then Fury says, he is, just not yours.
Right.
He doesn't say not ours.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because it's not his planet.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's
just
good.
Not from yours.
Nice.
That's like a little, one of those, in the moment, it doesn't sound that odd.
Right.
But then knowing what you know at the end, going back,
And that was a fun thing. And I like that either Nick Fury is commanding the is it Skrulls?
The Skrull, yeah.
Or he's just on vacation.
Yeah.
And
they're just like
nice.
dicking around.
Yeah. That was really fun. What did you think of MJ and Peter like on the bridge and kind of like them Yeah.
Moving on.
Anyway, same way. I thought it was fine. I liked her kind of helping out and everything, but I don't know. Like, okay,
she didn't feel like the same character.
She really didn't. She really didn't. That was a big issue for me too. But the ending, we're jumping around a little bit.
Oh, the post credits.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Should we talk about we talked about him working on the suit, making the suit and everything.
Yeah, that was good.
The final action set piece we talked about with the gun and everything.
Yeah.
That was cool. I liked all of that. It just didn't feel as, I don't know if I would say it didn't feel as, important as the, Vulture, one, but in Homecoming, but I did feel like this, I liked the way it resolved the arc of the Peter Tingle.
Yeah.
I liked that's how like he gained his spider sense.
Yeah.
That was great. So let's go ahead and talk about the mid-credits scene.
Oh man.
So
Jonah J. Jameson.
Yes, J. Jonah Jameson.
Judy.
Jesus Christ.
That JJJ.
Yeah. Okay, so
wow.
That was such a great
Yeah, this is a good tie-in. Totally
so
unexpected.
Great. Oh yeah. Like I had gone into the movie and I had read a post from Fecus on Facebook because he had seen it like days before I did, and he had said like, "Oh my god, that mid-credit scene is amazing," and I was like, "I wonder what it could possibly be."
Yeah.
So it's like twofold. Like it's like there's three different things about it that's amazing. So first of all, like as it's happening and you see MJ and Spider-Man swinging around, like that also felt kind of hokey. It felt like it was evoking the like 2002 Spider-Man and 2004 Spider-Man 2. It just felt like I got that vibe from it. And then I was like, what if they introduced J. Jonah Jameson here, and maybe that's why I'm getting that vibe, because he was such a big part of that. And they did, and
You're
it was
psychic.
J.K. Simmons also, which is so perfect.
Yeah.
So that is one aspect of it. That's two aspects of it, like J. Jonah Jameson and J.K. Simmons in that role, but him essentially unmasking Spider-Man.
God.
It makes me so excited for the third one.
Well, and looking back on it, there was the one who was the assistant that was working with Mysterio, the guy the guy from the original Iron Man.
I don't remember
the scientist.
The name. I know who you're talking about. But
at the end, he got away. They show that he
yeah.
steals like a flash drive or something, and then he takes off and he gets away.
Okay.
So they were kind of setting up, and presumably he's the one who doctored this footage.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And probably used their technology to make this, and then released it.
Right. God,
It's what are you gonna do now, Peter?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And what I love about it is that it kind of it brings Spider-Man into the MCU in a unique way.
Well,
too.
and also
because the MCU's not been about secret identities or anything. He's like the only one that's been, secret identity. But anyway, go ahead.
They were in the beginning. They were mirroring that scene where where Tony Stark announces that he's Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
They kind of mirrored that in the beginning of Far From Home.
Oh yeah. You mean in the
when he was in his bedroom, there was a scene where he was kind of giving the speech.
Okay, wait. I don't remember that scene. I was thinking about the homeless shelter.
No, there was a scene where it's like the scene where he's packing all of his stuff, and Aunt May is like, "Don't forget your suit," and he. There's a bit where he
is it.
He's like talking to himself, and he announces that he's Spider-Man.
I think is it him trying to tell MJ that he's Spider-Man?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was him in his bedroom. It's been so long since we've seen it. I could be misremembering, but it was kind of mirroring that scene where Tony announced, and I was like, that's. Looking back, I think they were kind of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
The fact that his secret identity is he's going to be outed.
Yes. Yeah, so that's super exciting.
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, call me out.
Yes.
Let me know.
Yes.
Tweet at me.
As obscene and
really just mansplain it to me.
Yes. So anyway, Bagel Boss. So God. Anyway.
Your new hero.
Hey, no. Do not invoke him.
Do not invoke his name.
Yes. So anyway, Spider-Man Far From Home was fine. It was a good cool down from the workout that was Endgame. So I did see an interesting comment on Reddit that
really? That's so interesting.
Yes. On Reddit they said, and I wish that this was a thing, but they didn't film these alternate takes, but it would have been cool if they did like alternate takes of the snap at the end of Endgame, but with different Avengers, and like have them say like one line before they snap, like how Iron Man said, "I am Iron Man." That would have just been fun, like for a blooper reel or something, but yeah, that's all I got. So that's Spider-Man Far From Home. Let us know what you thought and everything. We're going to move on to our next review, which is...
Please be a 5-star ride.
Hey! Uber?
Yeah. Be cool, be nice. I'm Stu. How do you do?
Compton. I'm LAPD. Let's go.
Well, do you have a more specific address?
Compton!
Stop yelling, neighborhoods. That's not how Uber works. Hi, ladies.
What the hell's going on?
You selected the Uber pool option.
Uber what? Ladies, official police business.
Is that even real?
Get out of the car!
Stuber. Yes. So we saw an advanced screening of Stuber. It's been out for a few weeks now because we didn't have time to record a review. So, next time we do that, I really want to make sure that we do a review after.
Yeah, it was a weeknight, though.
It was, and we were
was
hungry.
late.
Yeah. So, according to IMDb, we're not going to do a spoiler review for Stuber. I don't think so. Let's just
I don't think we need it. Yeah.
So, Stuber is rated R. It is in theaters now as of 2 weeks ago when we recorded this. A detective recruits his Uber driver into an unexpected night of adventure. Whoa! So this stars Dave Bautista as Vic and Kumail Nanjiani as Stu, Mira Sorvino as Angie, and Natalie Morales as Nicole. So, also Iko Uwais as Oka, the villain. He is famous for the Raid movies. He was also in Mile 22. That was not a good movie. So we saw this movie. It's kind of a buddy comedy action movie. I also would like to mention that Jimmy Tatro is in it as Richie. He was the guy in American Vandal, the guy that was accused in season 1 of American Vandal.
Oh yeah, I thought he was familiar. He's the guy who was drawing the dicks.
Yeah.
Okay, who was he in Stuber? Oh my god, he was the guy who owned the store.
His manager.
Okay, you know what? Mm-hmm. The whole time I was like, I've seen that guy in something. Really? The whole time we were watching the movie, and I had no idea where I could not pin him. And I completely forgot to look it up later, but that's so funny.
That's funny too, because like that did not come up in our conversation.
No,
at
it
all.
didn't. I completely forgot that I was like wondering who that guy was the whole time he was on screen. But he has such like a unique look.
He does.
That I was like, I know I've seen him somewhere.
And in American Vandal, he does like kind of an affectation on his voice too. So he's not like he doesn't do like the same voice.
I think he has a little bit of a lisp.
Yeah.
Naturally, but I think he enhances it. Yeah.
Enhance. So what did you think of Stuber?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be, really. I thought it was going to be like one of those comedies that's like you chuckle a couple times, but mostly you're just waiting for the movie to end.
Right.
But I would kind of...
Which is most movies when I see them with you.
Shut up. I would kind of relate it to, remember when we saw Tag and it ended up being way funnier than either of us thought it would be? It was kind of on par with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now that there's been some distance, there's a lot about the movie I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's
same here.
Kind of a not very memorable comedy, but I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, and
for what it's worth.
I love Kumail Nanjiani, and I think he played he and
was
Dave
so
Bautista
good.
played well together.
He was so good in this movie.
Yeah, he was great.
I mean, the physical comedy alone, like he was very funny.
Right.
And it was the dialogue was witty and fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The future is female.
That was great. That was another thing. There's this whole arc in the movie that has Dave Bautista's character as playing like this kind of toxic masculine kind of guy, like this guy who's just
total man's man who like he doesn't cry, and you gotta be a strong man to be a man,
right?
Know?
And like I don't know, I feel like I would like to think it's too much of a trope these days because it's 2019. But it still exists and everything, obviously. I know that I'm just a very manly guy, so it's hard for me to show emotion. But crickets. But no, like that's something that like it bugs the shit out of me, and like the whole like man up thing, and it's just like no. People,
I think that was the point.
Yeah, it was, but I also
learns a lesson at the end.
Yeah, but I also didn't really buy it. It felt like maybe it's because Dave Bautista. I don't know if he really sold that well enough for me. Yeah, and I think maybe part of that is just that I have enjoyed him in other roles.
He's such a cuddly guy.
Yeah,
I mean it's hard for me to look at him and not see Drax, the Destroyer, who's just the softest boy ever. You know.
Also, I don't believe you've seen this, Blade Runner 2049.
No, I know he's in it, but I haven't.
Like, he's in one scene, in the opening scene. But, like, he plays this, like, it's incredible. Like, man, he's fantastic. But he plays a replicant, who is kind of like he's very soft spoken and very like
soft boy.
No, he's intimidating. He like beats the shit out of Ryan Gosling.
Sweet little soft boy.
But he has like pathos to his character. It's not like he's masculine.
He's layered.
Yes,
like an onion or a cake.
So yes,
or an onion cake.
Yeah. Oh God, gross. Yeah. Yeah. I saw it like on Facebook, the Dr. Pepper cake.
I'm sorry,
amazing.
what now?
Dr. Pepper flavored cake. sounds delicious.
I'm gonna make you one.
So please do. Please make me one for your birthday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. You took me to dinner for my birthday. Thank you.
I did.
Yeah, we haven't talked about
And
that.
I got you a really nice gift.
It was very nice, yes.
Yeah.
And I did talk about it on
I
the
was
podcast,
really
I
proud
think.
about that.
That was really good.
I thought I did a good job.
It's a recording light that has multiple different colors and everything.
It's not on right now. I just want to point that out.
Well,
We're
it's in
recording.
the bedroom. That's when I do
a
my
nightlight.
anthology
It's a nightlight.
recordings.
So you don't get scared.
But it's exactly, yeah.
It's spooky.
So anyway,
We're going to a concert for my birthday.
we are. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
21 Pilots in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Cool.
I'm probably going to leave Kyrsten there.
Whatever. I'll find my way back. I'll be fine.
Good. You can call Kumail Nanjiani and have him Uber you.
I'll have a show that weekend. I have to get back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to get so fucked up.
I hope not.
Yeah, I was
It
thinking
just
about
sounds
that.
like no fun at all.
I was thinking about that because Tiny was telling me about that restaurant, and he was like, "It has really good beer and stuff," and I'm like, "It's a Tuesday night."
Yeah, I mean, we'll
like,
be off
it'll
work
be-
the next day, but
Yeah.
we're going to be driving back.
But it's also like driving back, and like I remember when we went to Yuri and
That
John's
was
wedding.
painful.
That, yeah,
Yeah, I get really bad hangovers, too.
you do, yeah.
So,
I don't, but
I do.
I'm like the Dave Bautista of this.
You just said he wasn't good.
Well,
Like,
I'm not very good. So anyway,
Okay.
off the rails.
Yeah.
Stuber was more funny than I expected it to be as well. And it was also kind of ultra violent.
oh my god.
I was kind
it
of
sure
all about
was.
that.
It sure was.
It was so
That
unexpected.
scene where I don't remember what it is that he threw out the window.
Yes, let's try not to spoil it. There's a scene with a lot of yes. There's a graphic
Golly.
death scene that was really like yes,
Unexpected.
yes,
Yeah.
so great.
It was really great violence. It
yeah.
was.
Yeah, it's funny because I have on Letterboxd a list of 2019 movies released in 2019 that I've seen, but I have another list that I'm kind of have private until the end of the year. But it's 2019 movies released in 2019 that depict gun violence. That's making the list. So
Yeah.
anyway, America. Fuck. Anyway, so
We had another mass shooting today.
we did, yeah, and yeah. We had it today, but this episode's going up in probably 2 weeks.
There will probably
so-
be another one that day too.
Yeah.
To be
If
honest,
not-
regardless of what day you're listening to this,
Yes.
there's probably been a mass shooting today.
If not, then the shooting in El Paso has already gone away from the news coverage. So
Yep.
by the time you're listening to this, so,
and the shooter was taken into custody.
was he? I didn't see.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Guess what? He was a white guy with a manifesto.
no way. Really?
Yeah.
God. Anyway.
So,
Stuber had really good action and violence.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a whole.
I don't have a whole lot to say about it.
I don't either.
I
There was a
mean,
whole extended fight in a sporting goods store.
that was pretty funny.
It was fun. It was fun and funny and everything.
Yeah.
The payoff of that with the manager character.
Yeah. Jimmy
shit.
Tatro's character.
Jimmy Tatro. Yeah, Jimmy Tatro's character. That was kind of the high point of the movie for me, honestly.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Just the back and forth between him and Kumail.
They played off each other really well.
They really did.
They were a good
Yeah.
pair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's Stuber. I think that's.
I think we pretty much covered
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like, it'd
just
be
something,
fun.
just it was just fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. I was gonna say something. I'm saving that for when Fex and I talk. Anyway.
I see.
So yeah. Well. Anyway. That's Stuber. And then what else did we watch? Was Blockers the only other thing I was gonna bring up?
Blockers, LOSTPoint,
Yes.
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
And BuzzFeed Unsolved. Okay, so the last movie we're going to talk about is Blockers, which you guys have already heard what I thought about it. It was on
From
my
what
top
I
10
understand,
list.
you talk about it all the time.
Not all the time.
You talk about it to me all the time.
Because I really wanted you to see it, and I'm
love that
so
movie.
happy that you finally saw it. It was one of my top 10 movies of 2018.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I love it. You guys have already heard me talk about it. So, Kyrsten, what did you think of Blockers?
Yeah, it was funny. It was a good cast. Really good cast. Mm-hmm. Interesting story.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything in particular?
No. It's
okay.
No,
Cool.
It's been a couple weeks, so I'm trying to think back. John Cena was really funny.
John Cena, yes.
It had a lot of it was good dialogue, really funny. Ike Barinholtz was good.
Yes.
He's good in everything he does.
He's fantastic. He was great in the Twilight Zone episode I forced on you.
Yeah, he was. His relationship with his daughter ended up being really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was another good comedy.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to say.
Did you like it more than Stuber or less than Stuber?
I think I maybe liked Stuber a little bit more.
Oh, interesting. Okay, heartbreaking.
I wouldn't put it in my top 10.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was funny, but
okay.
You know.
We should have watched Birdman instead. Actually, it's funny because like
Attorney at Law. I used to love Harvey Birdman.
Okay, well that's not the same thing.
I used to love that show.
Sure.
I would stay up late as a teenager
Really?
and watch it. Yeah.
Wow. I never watched it. Ever.
It was fun. It was funny. If you liked the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons,
Okay.
it was great because they had all those characters. They were like the clients and stuff. There was one where the Jetsons showed up.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, they're like, "We're from the future," and the Jetsons is set in like 2001.
Oh, really? I didn't know that about it.
Harvey Birdman, that episode was set in like 2008, and so they were like, "What?"
Nice.
That's funny. Did you get that thing I sent you? Everyone who watched the show will get it.
Okay, well, that's not the same Birdman as the one that I have that I wanted to show you.
It should
but
be.
Anyway,
they should do the whole Birdman movie, but with Harvey Birdman.
Okay. Well, I'll get on the horn
and
with
Peanut.
Hollywood. Sure.
So anyway,
Anyway, it's funny because like after that day when we hung out and watched Blockers, like you'd said, like, oh, I haven't seen Birdman, and I was like, yeah, let's watch Blockers. But like after that, I realized like, shit, there's a movie that we could have watched that would have been like,
and we could have like reviewed it.
Yeah, well, because on Netflix there is Unicorn Store. Have you watched that?
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's like an indie drama with Brie Larson, and I'm all about that because I love Brie Larson. I want to marry her. But she like it seems like right up both of our alleys. So yeah, something to consider for next time.
Yeah. I liked Hannibal Buress.
Yes.
He again, just like Ike Barinholtz, he's great in everything. That's such a weird character that he played.
Yeah.
He always plays weird characters.
He really does. He's really great at that kind of dry, kind of ridiculous, but playing it really dry and
like
straight.
such a weird delivery.
Yeah. Yep. And I love Ike Barinholtz playing off of him. Like when he's walking up in like outside and he's like, I bet he's gonna throw his fucking tow truck business in my fucking face.
Yeah.
And he's within like 2 minutes he hands him his business card and he's like, oh yeah, this is my favorite part about this business card is this, and throws it away. It's really great. The kids.
They were all they're really good actors, strong actors.
Yeah.
Prom wasn't like a big deal for me.
Same here. Yeah.
I went to prom my freshman year because I was dating a senior.
Oh.
And spoiler alert, it didn't work out.
I'll say the same thing that I've said to Fecus numerous times on here. Oh, look at you, miss. I dated in high school.
You call him Miss I dated in high school?
No. I retroactively anyway.
Yeah.
Because he talked about how he saw She's All That in middle school on a date, and so I'm like, oh, look at you, Mister. I dated in high school or in middle school.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I went to prom my freshman year, and then I didn't go my junior year.
Okay.
But I went my senior year with my best friend Mackenzie, who was out of school for medical purposes. She was very sick. She didn't end up graduating with her class, so I took her to my senior prom. Would have been her senior prom, and we went with like a group of friends.
Yeah. And you were sure-footed the whole time.
That was the year that I fell down the stairs. I didn't. Now, okay, so it was at the Scottish Rite Cathedral in the main ballroom. There's this big grand staircase, and we show up, and I fell down the stairs, and I didn't just like fall down on my butt. I fell like head over feet. Like I tumbled down, and I get up, and I was fine. I wasn't hurt or anything except for my pride.
Yes.
And everyone
but were you Leicester,
was
though?
staring at me. Yeah. What?
Were you Leicester, though?
I don't get it.
Were you Leicester, though? Because think about what you said. Repeat what you said.
I wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
It was really bad. It was so bad. You had to explain it to me 3 times. And I still didn't laugh.
And it derailed the conversation entirely.
But everyone was staring at me, and so I stood up and I dusted myself off, and I announced, I have arrived. And everyone laughed at me, not with me, at me. And then the lady working security made me take the elevator for the rest of the night because I was, quote, an insurance liability.
Right. God. So, I'm so glad you didn't fall down any stairs at Tiny's wedding. Good job.
No, just the one time. I learned my lesson.
Good.
Yeah.
I had a piece of, I've told this story on the podcast before. I didn't go my junior year, didn't go my freshman year because I didn't date a senior. But I went my senior year with a friend's cousin from out of town.
Wow.
Which was awkward as it sounds.
Well, at that point, I would rather just go alone and hang out with my friends.
I didn't think of that as an option for some reason. I don't know. I was very in my head in high school. Like, it was ridiculous.
You know.
Yes. But
what?
I think I danced with her like once. And then fast forward to like 4 years ago, I think. I'm not friends with her on Facebook or anything, but apparently she went on a very lengthy rant about how she doesn't want her kids and she wants to give them away and everything. So.
And you let her get away, man.
I did.
You let her slip right through your fingers.
Those could have been my kids.
You just threw up in your mouth a little bit, I think.
Physical reaction to that. No, but yeah, I danced with her like once, and I just kind of hung out with my friends the rest of the night. Went to the bathroom, and the vice principal pointed out to me that I had I think an alarming amount of time passed between me being in the bathroom and me talking to the vice principal. And in that span of time, I had gained a little bit of confidence in myself, and I was a little bit more comfortable in my skin. And then the vice principal was like, "Hey, Matt, you have a bunch of toilet paper stuck to your shoe."
The two of us, we
Yep.
Not exactly winners here.
No.
We're not in the winner's circle.
Although you did date in high school, so.
I did. Not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, that's all I've heard.
I mean, I haven't talked to Ramon Silva since.
Ramon. The one that got away. Ramon. All right,
I didn't like him. He drove way too fast.
Oh, good.
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 He would try to impress me, and I'd be like, slow down!
Oh, God.
You know? Like, he thought it was cool. I thought it was dangerous.
Right. Was he the bad boy of Broad Ripple High School?
No, those were the kids with guns.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Anyway. Yeah, my post-prom was at the high school, and
my post-prom was at home. I went to bed.
Oh, really?
We went home at a reasonable hour.
Oh, nice. I don't remember what
I've always been like an old lady. Sorry,
yes.
I'm listening.
Oh, no. But my post-prom was at the high school, and I was hanging out with my friends. I went up to Tiny. This scarred me a little bit, but like Tiny was with his girlfriend at the time. And I was like, "Oh, hey, Tiny. Hey," girlfriend's name. And then it was within earshot of, I think, yeah, she was a junior? I don't know. Another girl from school. I think, she hadn't graduated. I thought she was above me. But anyway.
She probably was above you.
No, because that was my senior prom.
She probably was above you.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She was way above you.
She was like, I remembered that she was like the sister of a girl in my sister's class, which was a class below me. Anyway, I think she was dating like a senior in my class.
But she was above you.
Anyway, no. This pissed me off because she was like, she heard me like identify Tiny and his girlfriend by their names. And then she was like, "Hey, Matt." And then I was like, "Oh, hey," because I'm mortified of like saying anyone's name.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah, and she called me out. She was like, "Do you know my name?" And I'm like, "I'm little 18-year-old Matt."
Even if you know it when you're put on the spot like that.
Yeah. I'm like, and like, I think she was drunk. So not that gives her license to be a bitch.
Whoa.
That's extreme. Yeah. I'll amend that and say jerk. because she knew what she was doing. Because that was like the
Probably.
first time I really talked to her ever. But yeah, that just
Hey, she knew your name.
she did.
She
Well,
knew
you know,
your name.
well, I think everyone in that school knew that I was going to be a renowned
Maybe they didn't
podcaster.
know your name, but they
Yeah.
knew what name you went by.
No, they didn't, because we're not talking about that at all.
You're gonna cut that out, aren't you?
No. As long as we don't say it, I think we'll keep that. Yeah. Anyway,
They knew you by a different name.
no.
Yeah.
So anyway,
See, people right now are thinking that you were a serial killer or something.
that's better than the alternative.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What would your serial killer name be?
I don't want to say. I don't know. I was the bad boy of Speedway High School. Anyway, so that's Stuber. Or
No, that was
Blockers.
Blockers.
God damn it.
For a second, I was trying to connect how we got
Me
from Stuber
too.
to prom, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. So that's Blockers.
I have nothing else to say about Blockers. I mean, it was a fun comedy.
What I really love about it, and I'm reiterating stuff that I said in previous episodes, but what I loved about it is that one of my favorite movies growing up, when I was way too young to see it, well, when I was impressionable enough to where I thought like, oh, this is what high school must be like, because I was in junior high, was American Pie.
Oh my god!
The American
really?
Pie movies. Oh yeah, I
You
love
thought that was
them.
what high school was like?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Very, very surprised it wasn't.
Yeah. But that was a wake up call.
Yeah, it was. But I loved American Pie so much. And what I love about it is that what I love about Blockers in comparison to American Pie, because they are very similar premises.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't have the same level of admiration for the movie as you did, because it reminds you of one of your favorite movies
Well, that's
from
the
your
thing.
adolescence.
It's not so much that it reminds me of it, it's that it is updating that premise for the modern
Yeah.
times. Because it's very progressive, it's very sex positive.
Yeah.
It's very, like, because if you go back and watch, if you put a high school student in front of a TV and show them American Pie today, they'd be like, oh, well, that's kind of
Yeah.
fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
they're filming her changing
Yeah.
and everything. Shannon Elizabeth. Anyway, but back then it was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It is, and I agree. Like that's like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, yeah, that's not cool. That's not something that's cool. But I don't attribute 2019 like principles to 1999 movies, because that's just the era that it was. Like these are time capsules of the eras and everything. But what I love is that this is,
And everyone
takes
knows that human decency and respect for women was invented
it was invented
in like 2011.
Yes. Yeah. It took a step back in 2016,
yeah, I did. Yeah,
but there's a little bit of a resurgence, I guess.
we're
I don't
coming
know.
back strong.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, and just in general, like the culture has shifted considerably.
Yes.
It's grown a lot. Yeah. So I love that it's an update of this particular type of story that, I grew up with for a modern,
Audience.
yes. So, let's talk about some TV.
Okay, cool.
Before we get to Lost Point, you subjected me to 46 minutes. I do want to say, okay, not to put you on the spot, but today we watched 46 minutes of Buzzfeed Unsolved Supernatural.
We did.
And then we watched 43 minutes of Lost.
Okay.
But then we also watched 43 minutes of Flashpoint.
Yeah, but you've made me watch a ton of stuff. How many episodes of Nathan at Home?
Oh, it's Nathan for you.
Nathan for you, whatever.
And you're welcome.
You enjoyed BuzzFeed too, though.
I did. I
So,
really did.
I don't know
really
what you're
enjoyed that.
complaining about.
I'm just saying that, like, there's
a clear imbalance.
a clear imbalance.
How many episodes of Nathan for you did you make me watch?
That's genius comedy.
You're not answering the question.
Probably about a season and a half's worth.
A season and a half in
Yeah.
one sitting.
Yeah. Oh my, it's so great. We'll have to watch the rest.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So anyway, there was an imbalance. So you made me watch BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural. Why don't you introduce that to the audience?
Okay, so the concept is BuzzFeed Unsolved has two different series. There's BuzzFeed Unsolved True Crime, and there's BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, and they both have the same premise with the same hosts. It's Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej. And Ryan Bergara is a believer in all things supernatural, and he researches the cases, he presents them, and Shane Madej is a skeptic. Mm-hmm. And so the two of them, they're like total opposites out in the field, and they go and visit haunted locations, and the whole thing is, in a lot of them, they spend the night in a haunted place. And it's a fun, quirky duo because Shane just walks in and tells demons to fuck off, and Ryan screams at everything. And it's just a fun, like, it's my sister introduced it to me, and I can't stop watching it. It's so they're just so funny together.
And I agree. This was my first time watching it. We watched one episode 3. By the way, it's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on YouTube too.
YouTube, yeah.
So.
But we watched it on Hulu, and I was really kind of very impressed by it. First of all, this is a type of show that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
When it's done right, and here it's done right. But like okay, the similar kind of thing is like Ghost Adventures, which I thought was
is that the Taps team?
Yes.
Was that I used to watch that as a kid.
It really, I tried to get into it, but like it just was too much. It was too.
My problem with those shows is they would always find this big piece of evidence, you know, and it just felt so fake.
Exactly. And
because I mean, if every single one of these shows in every single episode found this huge piece of undeniable evidence that ghosts are real, then we would have evidence that ghosts are real.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. What it does here is like this show isn't necessarily about that. Like that's not their objective from my point. Like what I latched onto was the chemistry between the two hosts.
Yeah.
They are a riot. Like
They're
I was
so
cracking
fun.
up throughout it. It was so much fun.
Rock and roll, buckaroo!
Yeah. And it's because like they are so
magnetic
together. But they're so opposite.
Yeah.
In their viewpoint. And it's not something, it doesn't feel like it's something that they're putting on for the show.
Yeah, it's
just
not
like,
forced or anything.
If it's like scripted or planned to be like that, or if they're doing like an enhanced impression of their characters.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, if they are, they're hiding it spectacularly well.
It
feels very.
They
very
don't
good.
just do this show for BuzzFeed. Like they've worked for BuzzFeed and they started doing the show.
Nice.
So like they're in other BuzzFeed videos. They're part of another like channel called, I think it's called the Test Friends, where it's a group of people who work at BuzzFeed who test out different stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like
I think I may have heard about them.
Yeah, no, there's the Try Guys, which is much more popular.
Oh, okay, that's
which
what I'm
is the same
thinking of.
basic idea, but it's a group of guys, and this is a group mixed bag of men and women. But they do all kinds of stuff. Like one they did snake massages, and one they did rock climbing, like all kinds of different stuff. And one like they tried different like weird snacks from Amazon. So it's they just test all kinds of different stuff. So they do other stuff for BuzzFeed. They both work for BuzzFeed. So you see their personalities in other mediums.
Sure.
They also do Q&A sessions for BuzzFeed Unsolved, and you see that they're. Okay. I mean, it's just off the cuff. They're. I mean, that's just it's them.
Sure. Okay. Nice. I really enjoyed it.
They're so fun.
I'm going to eventually watch more.
You should. Yeah. I mean, they do a lot of really great episodes. It's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it. I mean, there's like I said, there's BuzzFeed True Crime, which is so fascinating.
That's what I'm kind of curious about because I feel
they do a lot of unknown unsolved cases, and they do a lot of really famous unsolved cases. So it's a really good mix. And it's the same premise where Ryan will prepare the case and then present it to Shane.
Do they retain some of the comedic elements of it?
Yeah,
or do
definitely.
they do it more seriously? Okay. Because that feels like it's a fine line if they're doing like true crime.
They're not disrespectful.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's not like telling like murder victims to fuck off. Like that's not.
Hey, Ghost of John Bonet, fuck off.
They do a John Bonet episode.
That's what I was going to ask you if that's what, because we went and got food a couple weeks ago, and you told me all about John Bonet.
Oh yeah, because I had just watched that. I think that was like the first episode that I watched.
Okay. I didn't know if that's what sparked it or
yeah,
what.
I was like, so who do you think killed John Bonet Ramsey? Yeah, I had just watched that.
Really fascinating and
yeah,
tragic.
but yeah, they do a lot of interesting cases and talk about different theories and different suspects. And some of them they do travel to locations, but the traveling is mostly for BuzzFeed Supernatural, where they travel to different allegedly haunted locations.
Okay.
So a lot of good, different cool places that they go visit. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I know that like that's, I mean, right up your alley. Like you like that kind of stuff too, and I do too. Before we get to Lost Point, did you watch the Knives Out trailer that I recommended?
I did not.
Okay.
I'll watch it before we leave here.
Okay, good. Super. Like,
I love that name though, Knives Out.
Yeah. And also, how was that Burger Chef podcast?
It was pretty good. Yeah, I've been listening to it at work, kind of, because I kind of exhausted everything I could really listen to on my Netflix queue. You know?
Yeah. And podcast app. And stuff?
Well.
Yeah.
But I was really on a true crime kick because I've been watching Buzzfeed Unsolved. So I just did a search for
Almost
true crime
300
podcasts
episodes.
and I stumbled onto True Crime All the Time.
You also have
Unsolved.
access to the Patreon.
I
you access
really
to it.
wanted to listen to some true crime.
Well, that's fine. I'll have to murder someone and have a true crime podcast about it then.
You'll be in jail. Actually, you'll probably be dead.
Not if I do it right.
You'll probably be dead.
Hey, I could kill someone. That's took a dark turn. It's not. I wouldn't kill him. I wouldn't harm a fly. Have you ever seen Psycho?
Blink, damn you!
What?
Blink.
Am I not blinking?
You haven't blinked in a while.
Really?
Blink.
Wow.
Right now. Blink right now.
I can't.
Blink.
I can't.
Blink.
It's just
Your eyes are going to be so
about murder.
dry.
You're gonna. Okay.
Okay, you blinked.
Okay.
You blinked, everybody. You blinked.
Yes.
It's fine.
So, yeah.
So we watched Buzzfeed Unsolved.
We watched that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lost Point.
Lost Point, yeah.
Yes, we watched. Okay. We have to level with the audience
Okay.
because we did watch an episode of each. Was it just one episode of each last time?
Last
or did
time,
we watch
I think it was
two?
one episode of
Okay.
each.
Because
we also watched Blockers.
Yeah, and we didn't record about it.
No, we didn't.
And
Because it was late. It's late now.
It was, and
It's
it is
11:30.
now. Yeah. Oh my god, fuck! It's 11:30.
Yeah.
So I, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize that Kyrsten didn't want to record after that. Ugh. Anyway, blink, damn it, blink. So we watched
Claire. It was a Claire episode. Claire.
Yes. So
Claire.
we watched. Yeah, let's talk about Lost first. Okay.
Claire.
So we watched 2 episodes. I'm bringing them up now.
Claire.
Season,
Claire.
and we're gonna probably spoil Lost. So we watched season 1, episode 10, Raised by Another, and season 1, episode 11, All the Best Cowboys Have Daddy Issues.
That is such a crazy name.
It is, and what's funny is that we were talking about whether or not we wanted to watch another episode of each, or just leave it at that today. It's funny, or it's good that we left it off at this, because that episode, All the Best Cowboys Have Daddy Issues, aired December 8th, 2004. It was the last episode before their winter break.
Oh, that's convenient.
So
What did I rename the episode? All the best main characters have something. It was really clever.
Something clever.
It was. You laughed. I laughed. We both laughed. All the best main characters.
Get screamed? No. I don't remember. Anyway.
Whatever it was, guys, it killed. Okay.
And there's going to be a true crime podcast about it. So describe Raised by Another and
it's been a
All the Best
while.
Cowboys.
But it was a Claire episode.
Claire.
And you got.
And
I
the
mean,
baby.
it has been kind of mysterious. Who she is and where she came from,
Right.
and she's pregnant. And I think it was addressed in an episode where someone asked about. I think I remember someone asking about.
Oh, I can't remember.
And she's like, I think it was Charlie actually when he was maybe kind of flirting with her in an earlier episode.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, your boyfriend, and she's like, no boyfriend, just me.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was our first hint that she was raising this baby alone.
Right. So we did get that backstory though.
Yeah.
And we had cat hair on the microphone.
Yes, I picked it off. It's fine.
Yes.
I ate it. Yum.
Anyway,
I'm going to become the cat.
Ugh.
So
That reminds me. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to save that, but go ahead.
okay. So yeah, weird episode.
Yeah.
First of all, I will say the whole thing with her and her boyfriend escalated so quickly.
It did. There was
and
not.
it felt so
enough time.
two-dimensional.
Yeah.
2-dimensional. I would have liked to have seen like a scene between the introduction of him and the breakup.
Yeah.
To show a little bit of the progression of their relationship. But the whole thing with the psychic was really interesting.
Okay,
It was so compelling because that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And he told her that his whole plan was for her to get on the plane. And it crashed.
Right.
And he's all like, no one else can raise this baby. And then she's abducted by weird Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And he's trying to hurt her baby.
Right. The baby.
The baby. He's trying to hurt my baby.
My baby.
I didn't go eat my baby. That's a thing.
Yes. So yeah, the boyfriend in the flashbacks was played by Keir O'Donnell, I think is his name. He was in Wedding Crashers. He was the creepy brother.
Oh, I've only seen Wedding Crashers once.
Oh, really? Did you not like it?
It was alright.
Okay.
It not very memorable.
Did you like it more than Blockers?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, he was in that. I think he was underutilized in it because I do like him as an actor.
It kind of felt like there was an extra scene in there that they cut out for time
and
or
I
something.
Agree. And like the breakup scene felt a little.
He just added like one minute. He's like, "We can do this. We can have this baby, and we can make this work." And the very next time we see him, he's like, "It's not working. I'm breaking up with you."
Yeah, and it felt just a little cliche because like it's the whole like he comes in with a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm gonna take."
Oh, you ever talk about the baby now?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah,
We have drapes
you guys
now.
are having it. Yeah, the drapes. He was really upset about those drapes.
Yeah.
It's like the drapes are nice, buddy. Come on.
Right. But yeah, I agree. The psychic stuff was cool.
Yeah, that's really neat. Really cool episode with the Cowboys.
All the best Cowboys
I
have
will
daddy
say
issues.
there
A
were
Jack episode.
no Cowboys in that episode. It certainly was not Jack.
Well,
What a weird, what a weird episode title. It was weird to me. I thought it was a cool episode for Locke. Locke is such a cool character.
Oh, I agree.
You know, I just really like Locke.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
There are characters that have not been introduced yet that are going to supplant him as my favorite. We'll get to those eventually, though. But
was he like at this point in the show where you were? Was he your favorite?
Oh, I was all about Locke.
Was he your favorite?
Oh yeah, I was all about that box man.
All right, yeah.
Because he's the most interesting.
He's so mysterious.
Character.
He's so cool.
Oh yeah.
I kind of wish that they had held on and given us his episode with his backstory later.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, maintain the mystery as long as you can. He was one of the first characters who got their background episode.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to
the
wonder
payoff of that was so good.
wonder a little bit longer about who he was. I mean, we still could have gotten that payoff, but
yeah. When you put it like that, I agree. Like,
it would have been
cool.
would have been neat.
Yeah, like
just
this episode
because
was
he was so mysterious in the beginning, and then you learn about him. You learn about who he is, and
but you also you
in
don't
episode
like that
4.
opens Pandora's box of questions.
I'm just saying.
But yeah. Anyway, this episode introduced the hatch. Now, what do you think
we don't know it's the hatch right now.
Well,
I only know it's the hatch because you told me.
Well, it's steel.
We know it's metal.
Okay, well,
and I said it's a hatch when we were watching the episode because you were like, "What do you think it is?"
Yeah.
You're always trying to lead me.
What do you think? What do you think?
Like
it is?
leading questions.
Yeah.
And I said I think it's a hatch, and then I was like, I know that there's some kind of underground bunker because I've seen like episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I know that there's like an underground bunker with like this thing where people have to put in a number or else the island's going to explode or something like that. And I said, I bet it's that hatch. And now you've just confirmed for me that it is that hatch.
I said it's a hat. I didn't say anything else.
I said, wouldn't it be cool if it turns out it's a hidden camera TV show, kind of like the Truman Show?
Yeah.
Like the plane crash was a hoax, like, all VR or something, and they're just being observed.
If I had gone 6 years and
great! Now I know that. Oh wait, are they on the island for 6 years?
No, if I had gone 6 seasons of watching the show.
Oh, okay.
And just like that was the reveal at the end.
That's the end.
I would have been so pissed. Yeah. Anyway, how do you feel
one
about
could think
it?
of it as a great twist ending.
Well, no, not me. What did you think of the episode?
It's so dramatic.
How dare you? Anyway, at this point, we're halfway through the first season.
All right.
We're having our winter break.
Yeah. Ooh, birds cold.
Yes. Wait, what?
Winter break. We're having our winter break. That's what you said.
Yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
So, how do you feel about the show now?
It's fine.
Point?
It's good. It's very mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what they're doing to Claire.
Claire.
Mm-hmm. They killed Charlie. I mean, he's okay. He got better.
Yeah.
Because Jack broke all of his ribs into a fine powder. He ground them up.
Yes.
That does not work, Jack. You are a terrible doctor.
And I told you about this. I love that the one piece of trivia on IMDb about that is like, yeah, that doesn't work.
Please don't do that in real life.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah,
it's good. I definitely. I mean, if I had had the opportunity to watch the show all the way through, I would have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
I mean, I am now.
Right.
But it would have been really cool to watch it when it was on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was cool. Yeah, so the thing, that's LOSTPoint, I guess. Wait, we didn't talk about Flashpoint, did we?
You jackass. You absolute monster.
Damn it! I was so close. So Flashpoint.
Yeah.
What episodes did we watch?
I know today we watched Backwards Day.
We did. And then 2 weeks ago we watched Eagle 2.
Eagle 2.
Which was fun. It was an interesting episode. Okay, so this episode was about a very wealthy couple who are
You're not going to talk about Eagle 2 at all?
No, that's what I'm talking about. Eagle 2.
Oh.
I mean, sorry. They're both interesting. Both episodes had very wealthy couples. So Eagle 2 is a season premiere of season 2.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
It was good. I liked it.
I like Eagle 2.
The necklace bomb. Mm-hmm. So it's a real thing. As you pointed out. And I told you that there is a documentary series limited series on Netflix called Evil Genius that is about a crime involving a necklace bomb.
Yeah, I've seen that documentary.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you didn't see it.
No,
okay.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
They also covered that on Buzzfeed Unsolved.
Did they?
True crime.
Such a messed up story.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, a wealthy couple are at like an event or gala at a hotel, and the wife of the couple is abducted by people who have a
They're
backstory.
extremists.
Extremists, yeah. And they basically hold her hostage with a necklace bomb, and they have to have the husband make a statement in front of everyone.
A confession. Yeah.
So this was a good tense episod. It was.
I like it because it feels like a short movie.
It does, yeah. It feels like one of those like. Kind of like the Jack Ryan movies.
Like if you wanted to watch a single episode to kind of get a feel of the show, you could watch this because it's a complete arc.
And it's good because like that's the season 2 premiere. Like that's smart placement of that episode.
Yeah.
The the bad guys were like the most bad guy looking bad guys
They were
ever, which it's not a detriment to it too much, but I was just like, okay, like look a little bit less
bad guy.
Yeah. But it was still intense. Like anytime there's like a bomb in play,
the stakes are high.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Michael Scott in improv. Like it's like
the gun.
The gun. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Spike had a good last scene thing.
My little guy.
Yeah.
My favorite character.
You want to wrap him up in a blanket and feed him cocoa?
You know what? I do. He
Nice.
deserves it. He
That's
deserves.
so creepy and weird.
Michelangelo Scarlatti deserves nice things.
Michelangelo Scarlatti.
Spike.
Okay. Is he also a Ninja Turtle?
No, he's a painter. He's a famous painter.
I went for the nerd thing. You went for the
cultural
nerd thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then that was a good episode. So then what did you think of it?
I like it. It's a good episode. It's kind of the first episode where Spike gets any sort of real action. Mm-hmm. He's they have like main characters, you know, and then they have like the sub characters. So they have like Spike Wordy and Lou, who don't, like, they're not, like, part of the main plot.
Right.
Originally, and they don't really start to get a lot of screen time until season 2. So, they're going to be more developed in the upcoming episodes. They've kind of been more background.
Okay.
So this was like the first episode where Spike had like a time to shine. You know, he's the demolitions, the bomb expert on the show. So obviously he was the one who was handling the necklace bomb. So it was good, you know, to allow the audience to fall in love with him as I did.
And speaking of characters getting some action, the next episode we watched, high five.
Actually, they at the end of the previous episode was the one where they had an intimate kiss.
Yes. Spike and the necklace bomb.
Yeah. He totally made out with the bomb, and everyone was staring at him. They're like, Spike, no, it's a live bomb.
Yeah.
What?
Should we say who and spoil
I mean, it's kind of established in the first episode.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Jules and Sam finally
hook it up.
And that is carried over into episode 2, Backwards Day.
And they're totally breaking the rules, you guys. They're on the same team.
They're the bad boys of the SRU. But yeah.
I think Ed's kind of the bad boy. He's like,
kind of, I guess. The angry gnome.
Yeah, the angry gnome.
Yes. So Backwards Day, the kind of main kind of thing is a knife wielding. Oh God, that was a really good episode.
It was really good acting in that episode.
Totally, and like the story of Sarah, basically it's a woman who discovers that her husband is a bit of a philanderer. This is the day that she presumably, or stated outright, potentially like their last chance to get pregnant has failed, because they've burned through so much money for IVF, infertilization or whatever it is.
In vitro fertilization.
That's, IVF, for all that. And it's like they have gone through a trauma.
They're out of money, you know.
Yeah, they're out of money. They previously had, she was carrying a child for 4 months and then miscarried.
Yeah.
So it's very heavy in terms of, drama. And like that, I mean, I can't imagine.
The actress who played Sarah was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was very dynamic in her emotions. It was,
totally.
Very well played. I felt bad because you were like, is this a good episode? And I was like, based on the title alone, I just could not recall what the episode was about at all. I was like, but looking back, it's a really good one.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And so she lures
this woman who suspects is having an affair with her husband.
Right. And holds her at knife point, and then the SRU gets, called. Sam tells us what a phone is and everything.
Very thorough.
Yes.
Sam.
One thing that kind of, I don't know, I like that they carried over the Jules and Sam thing, and but what I kind of, and I don't know if this gets addressed later in the season or not, but in the previous episode in Eagle 2, Jules fucks up pretty severely. It's arguable that she caused the entire kind of thing by not
keeping an eye on her target she was supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the jumping off point of all that. And I was kind of hoping that there would be some fallout from that. That would cause a kind of rift. I don't know if that's something that would happen later.
I get that.
But yeah, that's the one kind of critique I have for that. But overall, this episode was compelling. I really liked the thing. It's weirdly refreshing to see a knife be the weapon.
Yeah,
because it's not with something that's so dramatic and emotionally driven for the characters, as she has been suffering from not being able to bear a child and sinking so much money and finding out that her husband is checked out and has been having an affair, and then there's revelations that come up in her conversations with this woman that's just
Hannah.
Shattering. Yes. Never trust someone with a palindrome for a name. I'm trying to think of all the listeners. I think
all 6 of them.
Yeah. Hey, it's only 6 that pay us. The rest just skate for free. But no, so yeah, there's some revelations that happen later that I won't spoil here, but like it's a very heavy episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It reminded me of a movie that came out last year called Private Life. It has Kathryn Hahn and Paul Giamatti as a couple who are struggling with IVF
fertility
treatments and everything. Yeah. And it is written and directed by Tamara Jenkins, who apparently went through that herself. Like this is her, like,
in the movie, did she also take a victim hostage?
Yes, at knife point.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, and some.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm totally joking. I was gonna. Some jackass.
And then the
told her where the
Canadian
phone
police
was. Yes.
show up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very, like, I highly recommend. It's on Netflix. Private Life. Really just beautiful movie, and like you can tell like how kind of raw.
I mean, I'm sure like there are some people who just so desperately want to have children,
right?
You know, and I mean, to be told that you cannot, I'm sure is probably the most devastating news you're going to have in your life.
Totally. Oh yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'd be like, awesome.
I know.
Cool.
I was gonna joke that when they're talking in the car, her and her husband, in the early scene of the episode, when he's like, when was the last time you went outside? You're terrified.
I went outside yesterday.
I thought that was funny and a little hokey.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. But
I think that's just going to show like how kind of out of touch she is.
Yeah.
Like that's a milestone for her.
Right.
I went outside yesterday.
Yeah.
Like,
and also when he's like, you're terrified of any like running into a stroller or whatever, and I'm like, I get I understand I understand the subtext that like
rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Yes, because it's a traumatic experience losing, like, miscarrying like that. But in my head, I was like, yeah, kids are fucking scary.
Yeah, I'd be scared too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I made some inappropriate jokes when they were wrestling around. Like, what if there was a douchebag kind of member of the SRU? Nice. And you did high five me. So yeah, we broed out a little bit. That was fun.
Don't say that.
Yeah. What? Good hangs. So anyway.
Good hangs like Charlie. Because he was hanging.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie.
You said Charlie, and I couldn't connect it. Charlie.
You know, like Gordy. He's hanging out with Gordy.
Yeah.
The subtitles were messed up, you guys.
Yeah, which I never watch with closed captions. The reason I had closed captions on was because I was watching something in the background while I was editing last night. So yeah.
I usually watch with subtitles on. I think I have like some kind of weird auditory processing delay where it'll take me like an extra beat to kind of, I almost like translate what they're saying in my head. And by then the moment has passed.
Well, you are an alien.
And so shut up.
Yeah.
Don't tell everyone.
Yeah. You're supposed to yes and me.
And yes, and.
And.
You failed.
Yep.
Michael Scarn. So I usually watch with subtitles so that I can follow along easier.
Okay. I always find them kind of distracting. I watch them when I'm editing because I have the volume low so I can catch the dialogue. That's really the only time. So yeah, that was Flashpoint. That was LOSTPoint. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I do have one other thing that I want to talk about.
We've been talking forever.
Because we haven't talked about this. This is the second time since this news dropped.
Okay.
The Cats trailer.
Oh my god.
Like, can we talk about that?
It's so
to
weird.
Close out the episode.
So when I was in middle school,
yes,
my friend Jasmine Fields had like a Broadway
that's a pretty
performance DVD of Cats.
We watched that like in middle school and high school.
She like invited me over for like to spend the night at her house, and she's like, "We can watch Cats," and I peripherally knew what Cats was. I knew it was a musical.
I just picture you being like, "Oh yeah, let's watch.
Let's watch your Cats."
This is not. But
going into it, I was super excited because I loved musicals and I loved Cats, and I was like, "This is going to be a golden time."
Right.
And we didn't even finish it because I was like, "The fuck is this?" Like, the music is beautiful.
Okay.
The plot is garbage.
Yeah. That's okay. This trailer keeps saying, like, this Christmas you will believe. And I'm like, fucking believe what?
Yeah.
That cats exist? That like what? I don't understand.
It's so far into the uncanny valley.
Mm-hmm. It's so creepy
They're
and
so
weird.
weird. I loved, you retweeted the, someone put the I Got 5 on it.
Yes, the
music
remix from Us.
over it. It fits
It's perfect.
perfectly.
Like, I would watch that
Yeah.
horror movie.
It looks like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It looks like a nightmare.
Someone
Yeah,
else
I don't
put-
have high expectations
No, me
for
neither.
cats.
There's like a bug or an ant or
Oh,
something.
there is an ant on your wall.
Oh, should we
One
murder
lovely ant. If you want, I don't know.
It's all the way over there.
You win this round, ant.
Yes.
You live
Yes,
another
come
day.
To me. Anyway, yeah, this trailer is bonkers, and it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna see it and we're gonna review it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, like I kind of felt like,
Why did they give them human noses? It's
Oh
so
my God,
weird.
it's
Like,
so
I feel
creepy.
so bad for complaining about the Sonic trailer now because we had no idea how good we had it.
right. That's so. I kind of feel like we've been friends for 5 years now,
Hmm.
and I feel like this is our destiny. Like
This is the whole reason we came together.
this is the whole reason.
Yeah.
Because you are theatrical.
Theater.
I love movies.
And we both love cats.
We both love cats. Like this is
the culmination
this is
of our
destiny.
friendship.
This is the Avengers Endgame of our friendship.
Yeah, this is going to end our
So-
this phase of our friendship.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't have high expectations.
no, me neither.
It looks
Me
insane.
neither.
It looks like. Are you going to kill that ant when it gets close enough to you?
I don't have anything to kill it with.
Your hand.
I can't use my hand.
No, I don't like doing that either.
No.
Like people who like smash like flies or gnats.
Oh, I can't- I can't do that.
Then what do you do with it? You got
Yeah.
a corpse on your
It's like,
hand.
ugh.
I don't like it now.
Anyway, it went behind the couch now. Pizza will eat it.
Did your cat
Anyway.
chase bugs?
Kind of. She's I don't know. She's too pretty, but she is. I always.
She's just watching us.
She's slow blinking. She's content.
I slow blinked back to let
Me
her know
too.
I'm
Yeah.
a friend.
She's so pretty. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode.
Yeah, please.
Kirsten, you've got to get out of my apartment. And
I do.
Yeah,
I gotta go home.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'm a sleepy bean.
Yeah. Yeah. What movie are we seeing next?
I have no idea what's out right
Oh,
now.
okay. Oh, that's fine.
I'm
There's a backlog of stuff that we should see, and your time is going to be
very precious.
yes.
What's out?
Coming out, I believe it's next week. I don't know what your schedule is or anything, so I mean.
Well,
it's
next week
probably-
I start Hamlet rehearsals,
Okay.
and I also still have rehearsals for Fringe, so
Okay.
it's going to be busy.
Yeah. Well, August 9th is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I do want to see that.
Yeah. So,
I wanted to see Lion King.
yeah. And it's one of those things where I wanted to see. There's a few movies that I wanted to see, but I was like, I should save it for Kyrsten.
It's so sweet. Midsummer.
Yeah.
I heard yesterday was good.
Me too. I have a ticket to see Midsummer tomorrow. I might see it. I don't know.
Go ahead. Don't feel like you have to wait for me.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I might still see Lion King, and I can't wait for Good Boys.
I don't know what that is.
That's the one with the kids. How many husbands does he have? Does she have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
The trailer.
Right.
The Peanut Butter Falcon. That sounds made up.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
It. Chapter
Yes,
2.
I can't wait.
Rambo? They're
Yeah.
coming out with a new Rambo?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the last one.
I
Last
hope
Blood.
so. He's old.
Yeah, Rambo: Last Blood. The
Joker.
The trailer has
October.
Old Town Road on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Joker.
Yeah, it should be okay.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yep. So we'll reconvene at some point and watch stuff. Yeah. Let me know what you're. Well, I mean, if you're busy next weekend. that's
Busy!
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. Next weekend, I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, probably rehearsals because that'll be the weekend before my show opens, so I know I have tech.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
bend over
I got
backwards to
rehearsals.
hang out. Okay, that's fine. I'll let you know how
We
it
could
is.
probably hang out Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, don't. I mean,
Probably. I'll let
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
If I can squeeze you in.
yes.
Pencil you in.
Well, I'm very important. So, but yeah, if it's a hassle, don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. We've got to end this episode.
Yeah, please.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Check out Patreon. Check out the other podcasts, Tower Junkies and Anthology. And thank you, Kyrsten, for putting up with me today.
You're welcome.
Yes. It was quite a fun day.
Because of the ice
Because we got ice cream at Fundaes in Speedway. Shout out. Yeah. All right. Well, something tacos and tequila. I don't know.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening, and see you next time.
Okay, bye.
And now, here's a short clip from our Patreon exclusive RSS feed. To hear the full clip and more exclusive Patreon content, go to patreon.com/obsessiveviewer and become a patron at the minimum rate of $1 per month. Thank you and enjoy.
And then I had to wear knee pads because I did a lot of climbing on top of the cubes, and there's the scene where I got
Delicately put it.
fucked.
Yes.
From behind on stage.
And the actor
And
who
like in
played
slow
that...
motion, so it was a long time just kind of rocking on the cube. So I was like, I need knee pads.
Rockin' on the Cube, also interesting euphemism.
That's going to be the name of my band.
But yes.
Rocking on the cube.
But if I'm not mistaken, was the actor? Is he a coworker?
Yeah.
The Obsessive Viewer podcast is edited and produced by Matt Hurt and presented by ObsessiveViewer.com. For a full archive of our episodes, go to ObsessiveViewer.com/OV archive. You can also like our Facebook page and join the OV Facebook group at Facebook.com/TheObsessiveViewer. And follow us on Twitter at @ObsessiveViewer and at ObsessiveTiny. And follow our recurring co-hosts at I am Mike White, that's me, at R.A. Feckus, and at Burger_Lurker. If you enjoy the show, please take a couple minutes to leave us a rating and a quick review on Apple Podcasts. This is the easiest way to support what we do, and all it costs is a little bit of your time. If you'd like to donate to the podcast, you can make a PayPal donation at obsessiveviewer.com/donate. Or support us on Patreon for recurring donations and access to commentary tracks and B-roll audio recorded exclusively for patrons at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. Every donation goes toward paying the fees to keep the podcast running and is greatly appreciated. For official Obsessive Viewer merch, including shirts, mugs, phone cases, and more, visit our TeePublic store. You can find a link to the store in the show notes of this episode and at obsessiveviewer.com/donate. Or you can simply search for Obsessive Viewer at teepublic.com, T-E-E, public.com. For information about our annual live event showcasing short horror films from local filmmakers, check out shocktoberInIrvington.com. And for an archive of all our events, as well as news about potential future events, head over to obsessiveviewer.com/live. For more podcast content, you can find Anthology, Matt's solo podcast covering The Twilight Zone, and other classic and contemporary science fiction anthology TV shows at anthologypod.com and on Twitter at OVAnthologyPod. You can also find Tower Junkies, a podcast where Matt and Tiny share their love of all things Stephen King and his magnum opus, The Dark Tower series, at towerjunkiespod.com and at towerjunkiespod on Twitter. And finally, check out The Secular Perspective, Tiny's side project podcast, which tackles current events and life's big questions from the perspective of secular hosts Chad and Amanda at thesecularperspective.com. The theme music for The Obsessive Viewer comes courtesy of the band Loudlike from their EP Mistakes We Must Make. Additional bumper music is provided courtesy of As Good As It Gets, which can be found at facebook.com/asgoodasitgetsband. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Kitty!